Alright guys, how's it going? I got another marbles here. We got the black stag bone. This is the Cowboy Skinner, Mr. 476. And there's Mr. Marbles at the back there. I'm kind of getting into all this marble stuff. They're pretty cool, inexpensive, nice things to collect and mess about with. So let's take a look at the Cowboy Skinner. Now I've been looking at these for ages, never pulled the trigger until just now. I couldn't stand looking at them anymore without without trying one out. So let's take a closer look at it. Alright, so this is how they come. I've already messed about with it, but I'm just showing you how it arrives. Well, let's take a look at the sheath. It's a nylon sheath, and it's not a bad sheath. It's not brilliant though. And they call this a leather accent. I'm pretty sure that ain't leather. But the sheath itself isn't bad, and you can hang it on your belt ordinary way. Or they say you can use it for cross draw, but to be honest, this is just too wide. I wear a gun belt, and this thing, because it's handle heavy, it just wants to hang that way. That's what it does. Now, what I did think was, I mean, depending on your belt size, but I think I'll put a rivet in here, which will make it tighter on the belt, and it should hang straight after that. But yeah, that's probably good to know if you think you can just hang it cross draw, unless you've got a big wide belt, a bit of webbing belt or something, it might hang straight. Anyway, that's a minor thing. So here it is, the classic cowboy knife, and I've been messing about with it for a couple of days now, getting the feel of it before making this video. Now they come in two choices. You can either get the black stag bone, or they come in brown Appaloosa bone, which looks smooth. It looks like a smooth bone. I'll put a picture up here. Other than that, they're identical. Yeah, this one's called the Skinner, and the brown Appaloosa one is just called a cowboy knife. Yet they are essentially both the same knife, other than the handle choice. The lovely deep grooves in this black stag bone really gives it a grippy feel to it. That's why I chose it. I figured if I ever did carry it, my hands are wet, or you know, it'll give good grip. And they have nickel silver badge and rivets, and I quite like that. There's the Marbles Quality Knives logo there. That's just embossed on there with ink or something, and stamped into the tang here, Marbles, and the R trademark. And on the back, it's lasered in there, Mr. 476 and China, but it's smaller. China's pretty small, don't mind that. We got a nice convex edge here. Now it didn't come amazingly sharp. I'll just show you that quickly. And it will cut paper alright, but you just got to get it just right. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. It's a decent working edge. So that's pretty good, you know. It's not coming blunt like a lot of these are. The ones that come from China seem to be a lot better made and coming sharper than the ones that are made in Pakistan. So the overall length is just short of 8.5 inches, with a 3 3/4 inch handle, and the blade is 4.5 inches with a cutting edge of 4 inches. Now in the adverts they call it a drop point blade. There's certainly no drop there, it's as flat as a billiard board. It's like perfectly flat. And it's flat across all the back. The handle is flat here as well. Yeah, on the underside you've got a nice curve in the handle here. Pretty nice curve which continues and obviously curves up the blade there. And nice bit of brass here, nice brass finger guard. Now when I first picked up this knife, it felt kind of awkward, like you want to put your thumb there and the handle feels short. I've got extra large hands, so it feels awkward to me that way. But after you hold the knife a while and get the feel of it, bear in mind they call this a skinner, and I'm pretty sure it would do a half decent job at skinning. Now if you were to hold it that way and wrap your finger around here, the knife sits in your palm really nicely, and you've got full control over this blade now. Really nice control, you know, if you were skinning an animal or using it this way for cutting rope or whatever. And the same the other way really. You could choke up on it because your finger can go in here in this gap there, and you can choke up on it nicely, and you've got really good control if you're, I don't know, cutting a steak or something like that. It gives really good control, and like I say, that it just sits in the palm nicely. So once I got to know the knife, it didn't feel awkward anymore. Alright, so it's a pretty beefy blade. It's 3 3/4 millimeters, so it's knocking on the door 4 mil, and the thickness of the handle, that's pretty damn beefy. That's 14.5 mil, which is in inches 0.564, and in inches on the blade 0.145. Now on the handle here, this is really polished up. Obviously it's full tang, and it's rounded off nicely on the butt of the handle here, and it's got a good feel to it. You know, if you were to stab with it, your thumb would wrap around there really nicely. Like I say, that convex edge lends itself to be sharpened on like a turn box like this Lansky really easily, which I'll give it a little sharpen. So this is the easiest method, I think, for sharpening a knife. I have the KME system, which is great, but you know, so you got a real effort to get it out, set it up, and switch the stones and all that. But with this type of blade, or a blade like say on the Roper Tumbleweed, you know, or your Victronox or something like this, these systems I think are really good. These and the these and the like the Victronox stone, these are perfect for this style knife. It'll get your edge nice and sharp, no problem. If you're out in the field, these things are easy to carry. I make my own strop blocks, just a block of wood, leather on each side. I have the rough side of the leather on one side and the smooth on the other. I buy my leather on the roll like this, a big rolled up bit of hide there, and I make my own sheaves and things like that, so I've always got scrap bits of leather around, so it's easy just to glue it to a block. So that's how I do my strops, and just strop really lightly to take the burr off. Now I haven't done a lot of work to this blade, just what you've just seen, and we'll give it a try, see if it cuts paper okay. Might even be shaving sharp, you never know. Right, let's see if it's any sharper than it was. Should be a little. Yeah. Oops, that was me. Yeah, that's a lot sharper. See if we can get it if it's shaven sharp. Yeah, no problem. Lots of hairs on there. So it's not easy to find out what the steel is in these, but eventually I found out that it's 440A, which I suspected it would be because marbles do use 440A quite a bit. So my overall opinion of it is, after getting over it feeling kind of awkward to start with, I've actually grown to like it, to like the feel of it. So I'm going to carry it for a while and put it through different paces. I'm not going to be able to strike a ferro rod on here because the corners are, you know, they've knocked the sharpness off the corners here. You can always strike a ferro rod with the blade if you had to, if you were, you know, if that was your only means, and that would certainly spark up some nice sparks off the blade, no problem. But I'm not really a fan of using the blade for that unless you had to, unless you had no other option. But there you go, guys. Let me know if you have one of these and what you think about it. Drop us a comment, or whether you've been looking at it and curious yourself. There you go. It seems pretty well made. I'm happy with it. And that sheath does fit really pretty well. I much prefer leather sheaths, but that's a good functional sheath. Like I say, it is handle heavy, this knife. Yeah, the balance point is all the way up here somewhere. Yeah, it's about there. But being handle heavy and choking up on it makes the blade really maneuverable, light in the hand if you were using it for extended amounts of time, because all the weight is now based in your palm, which makes the blade feel pretty light. So yeah, when I first got it, I wasn't all that struck by it because it felt a little awkward, but now I've got to know it and know that you wrap your finger around the guard, it actually makes it a good solid purchase on the knife, and depending on the job you're doing, like I say, works pretty good. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later.